Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dreams Unveiled with Daun, Whittaker.
And Melissa Salazar.
We're real happy to hang out with you today. We have a very intense dream. I tell you, I love when people remember dreams so vividly that it's like they're telling you
like a story. Like a full-on movie, where you can start seeing it. So dreams are back, guys. Dreams are people are starting to remember them.
I love this, yes. And if you want to remember your dream, you can start by telling yourself before you go to bed you want to remember your dream, and then write or record it as soon as you have the dream. It doesn't have to take long. Just record it like you're recording a text that you're going to send to somebody.
Yeah.
And then go back to sleep. I can go back to sleep easy. I don't know that everyone else can though. So this is a long dream. Our dreamer is Kitty, who lives in Fayetteville, New York. I'm going to read this, and we're going to just go through this one step by step because it's a long dream.
It's a long one.
The actual analysis itself isn't that long,
right?
But the dream, we don't want to miss anything. There's so much imagery. There's color. There's all kinds of things in this dream.
This is a good one.
The dream starts off with Jonathan, that's her husband, and I arriving at an outdoor party in Watertown with my parents in Jonathan's car, which is a very small car. So there's 4 people in this very small car. Her parents are in the back and she and Jonathan are in the front. We park in a grassy area and make our way toward a crowd that's watching my Uncle Anthony's band, which is the reason we were there. Anthony's fiancée, Melissa, greets us and visits for a moment and then disappears back into the crowd. At that time, we scattered to different areas. Jonathan heads for the bar to get drinks. My mom heads for the bathroom. And my dad and I are left standing there, kind of trying to decide what we should do. I mean, this is some real detail.
She remembers, right?
Even
remembers.
That that is profoundly detailed, even
I can literally see it. Yeah.
So we're deciding what to do, if we should get a table or if we should just wait for everyone to come back. During this time, we see Anthony jump down from the stage and make his way through the crowd. My dad flags him down and says, "Anthony, where are you going? We just drove all this way to see you. We only got 2 songs and that's it?" And Anthony says, "Well, actually, I have another gig in Syracuse out by the fairgrounds. Why don't you follow me out there? It'll be fun." My dad says, "No, I just drove all the way out here to see you." I'm standing there thinking, well, it could be fun, but then Anthony just walks away. Jonathan comes back with our drink and says, "I'm not driving all the way to Syracuse. I'm leaving." And he just gets in his car and leaves. So he drove everyone there and he just gets in the car and takes off, right? Melissa comes back and says, "Oh, I'll go get Barbara. That is Kitty's mom. She can ride with us." So then my dad and I kind of look at each other and say, well, I guess we're heading to Syracuse. At that point, the scene ends and things just kind of immediately cut to my dad and I somehow flying on a dark brown couch cushion. A big couch cushion, guys. A big couch cushion. And we are flying just high enough where our feet are barely above the power lines. And I was really nervous, and I did not like the way that my feet were dangling. And by the way, in waking life, she's afraid of heights. I felt like I was going to fall. I was very insecure. I didn't like it at all. My dad also didn't like it, but he handled it much better than I did. We were both squeezing the cushion to hold on tightly. I ended up talking him into making an emergency landing because I just felt too scared to continue. So we ended up landing in a junkyard type area with a scruffy man comes out and asks if he can help us. We tell him that we are on our way to Syracuse and he says, "Oh yeah, you'll never make it on that thing." Oh, this is one of those dreams that I wish we had.
Right.
The total,
like a video.
Yes. Of it. I could just see this old guy in overalls coming out.
I like
You're not going to make it on that thing. I got something for you, right? He says. And the guy at the junkyard drags out an old 70s style lounge lawn chair, the kind the kind that has the plastic tubing. It's orange and brown striped, and he says if you can get this thing going, you can have it. This is even better.
Okay, I feel like I would have took the couch over this.
I know. So they both fit on it though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even those chairs, like the ones that like the tubing where like you sit down and it like squishes down and your butt kind of like gets stuck in there.
I love how if you can get this going, you can have, what do you do? Jump off a cliff and sit on it?
Jump on it.
At that point, my dad flips it over, and next thing I know, he's calling out to me to hurry up and get on. Hurry up and get on. And I say, Dad, no, I weigh more than you. This thing's going to be lopsided. We'll never make it. Keep in mind, Dad turned it over to fix it and get it started, okay? So however that happened. He says, just get on. So I get on and off we go. And at this time, the flight is better. I still don't like it, but it's better. It's smoother and I feel more calm. We end up flying over my cousin Mike's house. He lives in Pulaski, which makes sense since we're heading from Watertown to Syracuse. So we fly over Mike's house and we can see from above that he's having a party. How cool is this? You're just in this lawn chair and you're like, cousin's having a party. Let's go hang out with cousin. And it says, in parentheses, which is unlike him. And my dad and I decide to land at Mike's house and check out his party. So we land in his driveway, and upon landing, I'm on a whole nother piece of paper here.
This is why we have like paper this time. This is a long dream.
This is long, but it's definitely a great dream. Definitely. And Uncle Tony, which is my dad's brother, is hosing down some muddy rubber floor mats or something, and he just gives us a pleasant greeting, and he's like, hey, how are you guys doing? Then my dad just kind of walks off and joins him and disappears into the party. Keep in mind, what's so funny about this? No one's like, you guys got here on that?
I know. Right? Everyone's like, it's fine. It's a dream.
It's not like there are other chairs parked in the driveway, right? They talk about cars in the driveway. So I laid down on the lounge chair and try to just take a minute. So it's good. It's serving two purposes now.
An actual lounge chair?
I know. It's pretty crazy. Then a woman approaches me. She's somebody I don't recognize, but she has a really big 60s style bouffant hairdo with a scarf tied around it and has charms through her hair, almost like little earrings scattered throughout her hair, and they were all very sparkly, and she hovers over me and asks if I'm okay. I say, yes, I'm okay. Who are you? And she says, I'm your Aunt Janice, Mike's mother. And oh, well, it's nice to finally meet you. Then she just kind of disappears. I then see Anthony walking off in the distance, and I call to him. Hey, I thought you were headed for Syracuse to play your next gig. He said, well, I was passing by here and I saw the party, so I decided to stop. Don't worry, everything will work out. And that was the way the dream ended. So it's
kind of like a fun dream.
It is really a fun dream. This one would be absolutely fun to get AI to actually recreate this. It is really quite hysterical. And let's face it, that Anthony does not sound like the most responsible human being that ever existed, right?
No.
He is just kind of fun-loving and just doing whatever he wants. Heck, I didn't finish that
gig. Straight up left.
Heck, I'm going to the other gig late, right? He's just doing his own thing. So I think for whatever reason that information is important, but there's a lot to go over in this dream, and we're going to try and go through it somewhat chronologically.
Okay. Yep.
Because it's so long. It is so long. Let's talk about the idea that Jonathan, her husband's car, is very small and has 4 people in it.
Crammed.
And so what does that show? It shows that Kitty feels very confined and restricted. Okay, this is a restrictive thing. This is like us driving down to Florida with a cooler in the back and three people and a dog. I know. So I understand that. And just so we're aware, Kitty, talking to her, definitely this really is representing her life where it is right now. She really does feel restricted. She's not sure where her purpose is.
Yeah.
She's really kind of struggling with the relationships in her life and how they are. And I know she's close to her mom, but there's a lot of drama and issues there that I think sometimes she's burdened with. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I was talking to somebody yesterday. When we're burdened with a relationship, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the person. But, I was talking to somebody who's taking care of their mother with dementia. Mm-hmm. It's okay to look at that as a burden. Mom's not the burden. The situation is.
Right.
Because if you don't, then it's hard to really know what boundaries you need, what refreshing you need, what help you need. You cannot look at the kind of help you need with the proper perspective if you don't understand how this may be a burden.
Right.
It doesn't, it's a neutral word. It does not have to reflect, oh, I'm terrible because that's a burden. We're all love is sacrifice. Mm-hmm. If you love somebody, there's sacrifice. That's just it. We all burden each other. Trust me, my husband will tell you I have been a burden because...
I feel like Bill with no hair has been doing your hair.
I know. That's very true. And opening all my bottles and stuff. Bottles, medicine. I can't open anything. So
sure you can.
So yeah, that it's been, fun and...
Fun?
Well...
I knew it, Daun! Bill, cut that out.
No, don't cut it out. Oh, yeah. that would be you. So... Oh, Bill. Bill. But I think this really is her life right now. So she's feeling very restricted. There's issues in the marriage. It seems like a strong, healthy marriage. But Jonathan has had some illness lately that has really been very difficult. I think it's a kind of a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And so he's relating to her differently. And I think she really does feel disconnected from things and doesn't know how to break free.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think that's where that is. And when you're dealing with family that you love very much, how do you break free?
For just some time.
Yeah, how do you break free without sending a message that you need to break free? I mean, there's a lot to this dream, and I understand, and I'm glad it's so vivid and we can see all of the things that are going on. So now they're at this venue. They've watched a couple of songs, but the first thing, this is really important. Husband takes off to get drinks. Mom takes off to go to the bathroom, and it's just
She's
Dad
there,
and her. So here's the interesting thing when I was talking to her. She and Dad are very, it's a very close family. But she and Dad, there's no drama. They calm each other. They're very soothing to each other.
Yeah.
And so in this relationship, the people that are feeling like they're carrying most of everything are the two people that got left behind. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important. That's why she's with Dad. Dad's a protective figure for her.
Right, and she is probably for him too. You know, they're both at level.
So I really think that is a very significant piece there. That it's these two people that are left. And then they find a brown couch cushion. Because they had no way to get anywhere, right? I mean, think about this. The husband takes off and just leaves everybody, which that is real. Talk about any place where you feel unsupported by your spouse. I mean, that in a dream, that is a pretty strong feeling of being unsupported. I want to bring this up because of a dream we did previously, the tall man in the church.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
The one that just aired. When we were talking about Joe being a security guard and that was probably more likely what that meant, I want to make this clear. It's not just because Joe's a security guard. It's because that was the interpretation most received by the person having the dream. And this is all about the dreamer. So when we say anything about other people and what they do and how they fit in, please understand, It is the dreamer's perspective. Always the dreamer's perspective. So I wanted to say that. So here's she and her dad and a brown couch cushion. And they don't, there's no memory in the dream of her getting on it or anything. They're just now
there. Yeah.
And she's afraid of heights. And so just try and picture yourselves, everybody, that you're on this brown. It's a good sized couch cushion, right? It accompanies 2 adults and 1 cushion. So this is like a full size couch cushion. And they're both holding on for dear life. And
reminds me of the time of being on the tube.
I bet, yeah. Because there's no stability. This is a very interesting, I want to share this. This is a very, very interesting symbolism here. All right. You probably feel like, because there's a lot of movement in that.
And you're right off the ground.
That's right.
Or above the power lines.
So talk about an interesting thing. What does flying mean? To break free, to be liberated, to progress. I mean, it's flying. It's
a freedom.
It is freedom. So we're in this place. So here's somebody who seeks freedom. She is with her rock of a person, and they're on something, a flimsy couch cushion. The color brown represents stability, being grounded, ironically. So basically what that tells me is she's seeking freedom in a way that, she's flying.
It's still stable.
She's seeking it, but because she's so afraid, she can't really receive it. You know what I mean? She's so afraid that she's having a hard time being there,
being free.
So here she is trying to walk in this freedom. New boundaries maybe being set, new ways to relate and be supportive. Maybe taking time out for herself. I mean, one of the things that her and I talked to is you need to find some things to do outside of your immediate family. You don't have to spend all of your time doing it, but a few hours a week.
Yeah.
Start doing line dancing, or that's become very popular here.
It really has.
Doing, finding some friends, because a lot of times when we see these kind of relationships and they're enmeshed a bit, it's really because there's not enough going on outside of the relationship. Sometimes the relationships make it very hard for there to be anything going on outside, which we've talked about in other dreams before. So here they are. They're flying, which
on the brown couch cushion.
Yep, being liberated. What she considers her safe support, her protector, is with her, but she is so afraid she can't appreciate or get to the destination. So let's take a look at Anthony's band. Anthony's band, when they arrived at that venue to view that concert, that was a really big deal, because that represents some kind of a reward or a goal for her.
That was happened,
right? And then he left.
After only, 2 songs?
2 songs, yes. So that's a real letdown. That's disappointment. That's expectations not being met. Okay? So there's that whole thing. And now they're now on this goose chase, now chasing this thing that she wants, which I love, because when you really need something and want something that bad, I really do appreciate you going after it. I genuinely do. We need to have goals.
Right, because not everybody does that. People might have goals, but actually going and accomplishing them is a whole different thing.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something. A lot of people that I counsel, especially older people, one of the big problems is they don't have goals to pursue. And they recognize it, but they don't even know how to get from point A to point B. And that tends to be, since I'm a solutions-oriented counselor, that's really what we focus our counseling on.
Yeah.
Your things may be really bad with your spouse or your mother or any situation, but sometimes it's not a matter of, you may not be able to change that. You just may have to be in it in a way that is most healthy for everyone.
Right.
But you could have outside things going on and other things that you feel purposed in, because we need purpose. And that may really, it's a balance. It's a balancing act. We need to learn to balance those things. So she needs to find some things outside. So she's trying, and this dream represents that.
Yeah.
She's trying to find that place where she can really be everything that she needs to be and have healthy boundaries and have great relationships. So that's really what this is.
Yeah.
And music also, when you think about it, represents harmony and peace, kind of. Yeah. Well, not the music I listen to, but probably most other music. But I think the idea of that harmony for her is really something that she is after. It's just to have that peace and not be so stressed and worried about some of the people in her life. Sometimes the people aren't the burdens, it's the worry that we carry for them, which we really shouldn't be. But it's easy for me to say that. It's not so easy to always put in action.
Yeah.
So here she is, really trying very hard to get this, to pursue this purpose, we'll call it a purpose.
Yeah.
To really make this purpose happen. But she's just too afraid. She's afraid. So they do an emergency landing. Well, and clearly her dad's doing the driving. Okay?
Yes. He's steering the couch cushion.
Which suggests to me also that her going this alone is very difficult. She really does need somebody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you have somebody if you need somebody. That's really all that is. Sometimes we need people to walk through things with us, and that is we're designed that way.
Wrong with that.
No, we are designed that way. We're
social beings.
That's right. So they land in a junkyard of sorts, and this guy comes out, and honestly, this was so funny. I really find this so funny. This guy, and picture just like some old guy in a junkyard, and he comes out and he says, "Can I help you with something?" That is funny. And they're like, we're trying to get to Syracuse, and he's
like, not on that couch cushion.
That's right. And keep in mind, just from a geographical thing, they were in Watertown. They were heading to Syracuse. Mm-hmm. And so they're not even to Pulaski yet. So they didn't make it very far on the brown couch. Just so we have that understanding, that was not a very, I'd say probably Adams. They made it to Adams. They did not make it very far. So he says, I have something for you if you can get it to run, which is great. And it's one of those old school lawn chairs, big enough for two people. So it's more like, I would say, like a lawn
lounge.
Yeah, it's something bigger.
Chair.
And it has that tubing, that plastic tubing, which if you've ever had your butt go through that tubing.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of.
So ironically, it's less stable, but it's more stable. So
at least has metal in there.
I know. This is orange and brown. And I want to talk about the color orange. We've already talked about brown being stable and grounding. Clearly something she needs, okay? Mm-hmm. Clearly something we all need. But she's, that needing that stability may prevent her from taking the risks of
doing what she could do.
And doing what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So the orange is great. Orange, we had an old dream before you actually about orange, dreaming about the color orange. And orange really is just think about orange juice.
Energizing.
Right? That's right. Energizes. It's bright. Mm-hmm. Right?
Revitalizes you.
Absolutely. All of that. Orange is such a great color because when you're dreaming about orange, it really is about renewal. Mm-hmm. It's about refreshing. It's all of these things.
Refreshing, that was a good one.
Yeah, right. I know. I love orange juice, but I can't drink it anymore. And there's too much sugar in it. Nobody should be drinking orange juice, even though it tastes really good. But this is where she is right now. So now there's this hope, right? This chair is brown and orange. So now she has the stability and stuff that she desperately needs. Mm-hmm. But now there's this, I feel like I can get there. I can get to where I'm trying to go. And she's, even though she's still nervous, she's still uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She can take this ride. She's willing to do this journey now to really get to that purpose, that goal that she is trying to reach, which is Syracuse to watch the band. The band's representing that purpose. On the way, they see that a cousin is having a party. Which is
not like them, so they're probably like, I'm going to go stop and check and see what's going on.
And so, and the fun thing about this is this is in Pulaski, so they're definitely moving. They're moving.
They're getting there.
And so they stop. Now she needs to rest because that was still
Still a lot.
That was a lot of a trip for her. This is somebody that really, I think, is very conservative and not very adventurous. And so now she's on this adventure, and the orange represents she really wants to do this. She's excited about it. But there's fear and anxiety about moving forward. And you know what, people? When you have anxiety, you've got to move through it. You just have to. Because the primary coping strategy for anxiety is avoidance. So when you don't do something that makes you anxious, what you're actually doing is making your anxiety worse. And I've said this before, and I think that's really important. You know, she was on that cushion, and she did it as long as she could before the anxiety really took over. But then they found a new way to continue. You push through it. Whatever you're afraid of, push through it. And I know I make it, like I said, it's easy for me to say that sitting here, but I've dealt with anxiety. Melissa's dealt with anxiety. It's not something new or foreign to us. And I work with people with anxiety 5 days a week. So I really want to encourage you. If you push through it 10 years down the road, it has not grown into all these other areas of your life and become so severe that your quality of life is diminished.
And these are fun journeys that you're going to be going on.
They are.
You know, I don't think any journey that you have in front of you is going to be scary. I think it's going to be exciting. Just got to be pushed out of your comfort zone a little bit.
And she is very capable of having fun. She's a fun person. Yeah. She really, that side of her. You know, the orange and brown are kind of like who she wants to be.
Yeah. And I think she can be.
That's right. Me too. I know she can be. I'm positive. So things happen. She's at this party. Her dad goes off now, so she's alone.
Yeah.
And she gets to meet an aunt that she's never known. And I think she told me that aunt had already passed away, but she never got to meet her.
Yeah, but I like that she had so many details on like what she looked like. You know, this aunt had like cool style.
And she sounds like such a fun, loving, free-spirited person for her to know. And that may be really significant because it may be that Kitty is working toward really being that fun, just going up to people and just sparkly and
you look at her and you're just like, wow, you know, you kind of get an awestruck because, you know, when she was describing her, I'm like, wow, like she's like got like cool hair fashion, you know, with little studs in her hair. I was thinking, wow, like that's who I want to be.
And even if it's kind of old, the bouffant obviously is an old hairstyle.
But in style then.
This may, you know what I think, who I think this aunt is? I'm just having this revelation. I actually think this aunt is who she wants to be.
Yeah.
Somebody who's outgoing, who's very cheerful, who's very inviting and personable and all of those things. And who is not afraid to be adventurous.
And to stand out.
That's right. So I absolutely think that is somebody she aspires to be, that will get her to her purpose, right? That's maybe something she admires.
Yeah.
So, and she was overjoyed to meet her in the dream. So overall, I think what we see is Kitty is in a transition phase. She is really moving from this place of kind of being stuck, and she's really not taking care of people, but she's got such a tiny circle, and she's not being fulfilled. I mean,
she doesn't have like a big purpose that she's doing right now.
And she is a mom, and she is a wife, and she has this beautiful family, but anything outside of that does not exist for her.
Right. And like so she needs something for herself. She needs something,
that's right. She needs to have some balance in her life, and she needs to. And people, we're not talking about just making this big shift and spending all of her time away from her family. We're saying a few hours a week at the most, you know, find a way to be connected outside of that. We all need that. This is a need. And I think that really is it. It's time for her to find adventure. Kitty, find adventure. You need adventure. That's what this is saying. And you need to not fear it. You need to go forward.
Embrace it.
And you're not going to lose anything that you have. And it will probably make all of the relationships around you even stronger than they already are. And I know they're very strong relationships. So I think don't be intimidated by that lawn chair.
Yep, you buckle up.
Take it wherever it can go. Pretty soon you'll be traveling without your dad.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited about this for you. And you can rise above everything going on. in your family situation.
Mm-hmm.
And be the helper and take care of people and love people and have fun with people.
But also take care of Kitty.
That's right. So that concludes today's episode of Dreams Unveiled.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share.
And if you need to submit a dream or want to submit a dream, you can submit a dream to dreams@daunw.com. Make sure I have contact information in there because I typically need a whole lot of information besides the dream. If you want to add additional information, you can either go to my website, daunw.com, and go to the Dreams Unveiled tab, and there's a fillable PDF link, and you can email that to me, or make sure I get things like information on what was going on in your life at the time that you had the dream, any feelings or thoughts you had, how you felt in the dream. These are all very important things. So that's all I have, and sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. See you guys.